Hey everybody, welcome back. Kimmel'sIrishPub.com. Time for another movie review. I have to say I'm a little excited. Not so much for the movie, although I am interested in seeing this movie. This movie is Kingsman, The Golden Circle, so it's a sequel to the original Kingsman, which was really fun and entertaining, but that was pre-reviews, so I don't have a review on that one, but I'll do this one for you. But I'm kind of excited because I'm starting to see there's more people viewing my videos, so it's not just my friends and family now. We're actually getting other people who are just as interested in movies as I am and providing commentary on not so much my review, but what they got out of the movie too, which is very helpful. So some good insight there. So I appreciate the comments from everybody. So keep them coming. You know, I like to know how I'm doing. You know, if the reviews are good or not, if they're entertaining, if they're helping you make decisions and whatnot. But so back to tonight's movie, The Kingsman, and it is. Let's get through the numbers quick. The tomatometer, Rotten Tomatoes, 51% for the critics, but 69% for the audience. IMDb has it at 7.1, and essentially the movie's about, you know, it's like a government agency, the Kingsman, and they're based out of the UK, and I believe their headquarters gets blown up, so then they have to become allies with the United States group, a US-based spy team as well, and join forces to take down the evil villain who blew up their location. So that's all I really know about from reading it. You know, Targon Egerton, I don't know how to say his name, Colin Firth, and Channing Tatum's in this one too. So I think that's interesting. I'm excited to see that. Big fan of Channing Tatum. You know, if you ever think about who would play you in a movie about you, I always think it would be Channing Tatum. Obviously, we're very similar builds and looks. He's got a six-pack. I got one ab. You know, we both can dance and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think it would be him. So I'm excited to see how he does in this movie. But no, I'm interested to see what this is about. Seems like it's going to be a fun one. A lot of comedy. But I'll check in from time to time. One bad thing. Maybe not. It's 2 hours and 21 minutes. That seems a little long for me for this movie, but hopefully I become immersed in the story and it goes by rather quickly. I'll be back in a little bit to let you know how it is going. Thanks for tuning in. Hey everybody, want to do a real quick check-in here. We're only at the 33-minute and 45-second mark of Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Julianne Moore is the villain in this one, so I didn't scroll far enough to see who it was. She's basically a drug dealer who has a monopoly on it, and she has the Golden Circle. So the Golden Circle are, you know, an underground drug dealing firm essentially, and she's the one who plans out to have all of the Kingsmen wiped out. So all the agents and all the you know, the meeting places and stuff like that, blow them all up. But you know, two of them survive, and you know, so now we're coming to the part where they have to find the Statesman, which is the United States version of the Kingsman. So they have to, I think that's what they're going to do now, is trying to catch up with them. But the reason I wanted to stop it real quick, so in order, and this isn't going to spoil anything, but they have to follow Doomsday Protocol, which leads them to a safe. In that safe is a bottle of whiskey, and they're drinking the bottle of whiskey, whatever, and then when they get to the bottom, they realize, oh, it's in Kentucky. That's probably where they have to go to find these people. The interesting point being, the one guy says to Iggy, or Iggsy, whatever his name is, he says, oh, country western, a lot of good music, and he starts humming and singing, Take Me Home, Country Road, Where I Belong. I forget how the title of the song, the John Denver song, which is interesting. The reason I say that is, you know, we know that Magic Mike is in this, Channing Tatum, and in Logan Lucky. If you've seen that movie, if not, you know, make sure you watch that too. I did a review on that one. But in the beginning of that, the opening scene of Logan Lucky is Channing Tatum talking to a girl about that song and how it was written. And it's like they're interconnected. Now he's in this movie, and the thing that leads him to United States or to Kentucky is that song. So I thought that was really interesting there. You know, somewhat kind of related in a sense. But I'll see if there's any more tie-ins like that. It's pretty cool when they relate like that. If they do, maybe they don't. Maybe that was unintentional, and I watch way too many movies. Who knows? But I'm going to get back to it here a little bit. So far, nothing else really major interesting, but I mean, it's good. It's a lot of fun. Oh, one other thing that I thought, you know, it's fun. It kind of gives the the illusion that, you know, like the way that they the Mike Myers movie, what was that called? Dr. Evil, that movie. I'll think of the real name of the movie, but that kind of, you know, like stuff is in it. It kind of reminds me of that. But there's more cursing. There's a lot of cursing in this because I was like, oh, this is kind of a fun movie, maybe for like a nephew or something like that, but too much language. But that's it for now. I'll start watching it again and check back in a little bit, let you know how it's going. All right. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Kingsman, The Golden Circle. Just ended, and I have to say, you know, I thought it was a good movie. It wasn't great. Another good, not great movie. The runtime was a little bit long for me. 2 hours and 21 minutes, I believe, is what it was. But it didn't feel that bad. It wasn't like, well, I would hope this would end. I mean, it flowed long enough. I don't think this movie needed to be this long. But again, it wasn't painfully long that I noticed it. Just, you know, just seemed, you know, didn't drag on in a sense. But, so, in the plot, you know, it's an unbelievable plot, you know, of course. But if you go into it knowing these types of things, like, you know, the plot is ridiculous, and Julianne Moore is a drug dealer. She has a drug cartel, and evidently has monopolized the entire drug cartel, so only her drugs are being distributed throughout everywhere. She taints them with some kind of virus, and then tries to have the president legalize drugs so that she can become the CEO of her thing and make all this kind of money and things like that. So that's really what it's based on, and so the Kingsmen and the Statesmen are trying to work together to find her, find the antidote, all that kind of stuff. So it's a little ridiculous and over the top, but I mean that's okay. It doesn't have to be believable every time. I mean, that's part of the movies, is to go into, you know, to enter into a different world, something that doesn't really happen. So, you know, it's far-fetched, so if you're okay with that. And then they're like shock humor type stuff that they try and, you know, I didn't find it all that funny. There wasn't a lot of laugh-out-loud moments. You know, I wasn't really laughing throughout this movie. They put people in meat grinders and stuff like that, so that's the shock part of it, and then served hamburgers. But you know, that was all in the beginning and things like that. But so like I said, you know, knowing that, and then the action's really, I think, what makes the movie. They do a lot of cool action scenes. Again, very far-fetched and unbelievable. You know, they do the action into slow motion and all ridiculousness that happens, but it's entertaining. You know, something to take your mind off of everything else that goes on around you. So if you go into it with that type of mindset, that knowing, hey, this is a ridiculous plot, this action is unbelievable, you know, it can't really happen, that kind of thing. You know, and a little bit underdeveloped characters. I mean, besides the people who returned from the last Kingsman, so you know, you have their development in there. But then, like I said, they also introduce Channing Tatum is in this one, but he's barely in it. Like, he's in it, and I thought he was going to play a big role. He does not play a big role. I do believe that they set it up. If they create a third one, Channing Tatum would be heavily involved in that, but not in this one. Halle Berry was also in it. She played a bigger role than Channing Tatum in this. So you could see that it's kind of like more of a passing of a torch movie than, you know, it was building off of the first Kingsman. So I thought it was just, you know, very similar to the first one, and I don't think it's going to be as successful as the first one, because the first one was fresh. This is them just trying to build off of the first one. Again, very entertaining. 2 hours and 21 minutes is a little bit long, but it kind of flowed. And I'm probably going to give it a 6. Actually, I'm going to 6 or a 7. I'm tossed up. Maybe a 7. Maybe I'll give it a 7. I really thought it was fun. You know, nothing crazy. But I went in with it knowing what it was. So if you go into it with that same expectation of, you know, where they're trying to do with it and just try and have fun with it, maybe you'd find it to be a 7 as well. So, you know, hopefully you watch it. Let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your comments. That's my favorite part. So, and let me know if you thought this was helpful. And that's it. KimmelsIrishPub.com.